Yo, what's up? It's me, Charlie LaMonaco, and I'm going to show you some Logic tips and tricks, but you could also use this in pretty much any DAW because this has to do with tape emulation and tape saturation. So, how do you get tape saturation in your song if you don't have the plugins that emulate it, right? That's what you're all asking yourselves, probably. I don't know, maybe you are. But anyways, so I have this plugin Sketch Cassette here. And so I'm going to put it on the mix bus, which I'll show you my routing for this session really fast. I have all the stuff frozen right now, but I have Mellotron, bass, drums, background vocals, and the secret sauce, which is this, which we'll get to later. And we have reverb 1 and 2, delay, and that's all getting fed to the mix bus, and that's all getting sent to the stereo out. So on the mix bus, let's put on Sketch Cassette. Let's play the song without the tape saturation and emulation, and then we'll add it in and I'll throw in a preset that's like Radio Shack. I'm going to turn down the hiss because we don't want that, right? Hiss comes with problems when bouncing. We'll talk about that. So that's with and without. So now you could hear how it just adds a nice like warmth, and if you're looking for that sound, this is a really great plugin. It really does a great job of emulating it. This aged, it's giving you more and more. We could turn the dropouts down. Giving you that wow and flutter. I'll go over what all this means. When you change the speed of tape, you get wow and flutter, and when you change the speed, you affect the pitch and the speed of it. So it kind of does it hand in hand. Wow kind of goes like wow, 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 and flutter goes like so I could show you what that sounds like individually. Right? Kind of just like a seasick chorusy type thing. Flutter sounds more like what you think of, I feel like, when you think of tape. Right? That's flutter. And saturation is just distortion. And this is kind of like your filter. Hiss, I don't use personally often, but it just adds hiss into your... It adds hiss. I don't like adding it because it's when you add noise into the song through a plugin, sometimes when you're bouncing it, if you don't have like the thing lined up, it won't bounce all the audio files and then stop it when the audio files are done. It'll keep going till whenever because the hiss is on. So I personally never use the hiss, but this is a really good just noise, you know? It gives you that tape sound. But yeah, so that's Sketch Cassette, and that's the explanation of all the parameters on it. And so you're probably thinking to yourself, like,
how do I get the sound of Sketch Cassette without buying Sketch Cassette, right?
There's an easy solution to that. So let's go back to this. No plugin. So now you're like,
what do I do?
Go to your mix bus or whatever you want to do this to. It doesn't have to be your mix bus. I like to do this stuff on the mix bus sometimes. And you could hear this all over my first album in particular. So Smiles and Laughter, I pretty much did this exclusively. And then for the sake of this argument, I think if you hear tape stuff, it's through Sketch Cassette. I do everything in the box. When you think of tape delay, what is tape delay? Tape delay is tape delay, right? Watch this. So we're going to go in to tape delay. And we're going to get rid of the delay by turning off tempo sync, and we're just going to turn it all the way down to 0 milliseconds, right? So you want this down to 0, and for now we'll leave the feedback down to 0, and you're going to turn the wet all the way up. So now what you're essentially doing here is you're turning off the delay, meaning if you think of the word tape delay, or the name tape delay, there's no delay anymore. Now you just have tape, right? So you're probably like,
oh my god.
Because when I figured this out, I was like,
holy shit, I can fucking do Sketch Cassette and all the stuff that I would love to do, but I now know how to do it without spending money.
Because we're all just musicians on a budget at the end of the day. But yeah, so basically this is your distortion section. This is your wow and flutter section. Um, you don't really have dropouts, I think, but this gets really cool really fast. And this is your filter over here. So I will play this with and without it, just regular, with these settings. No wow, no flutter, none of this is being touched. This is just how it's hitting the mix bus. You kind of hear, like, to me, it sounds like maybe there's a little bit happening. I'm not sure if that's just placebo, but I'll play it again. There's definitely stuff happening, but you know, so you have LFO and your flutter. And LFO is a low frequency oscillator, which is wow, which is what it is. It's affecting the pitch the same way wow does. So I will turn that up for you and set it to just like a regular pace. You don't have as much control with this sketch cassette, I will say, in some ways, and in other ways you kind of do, especially with the filter section, but we'll just go over that. As far as I'm aware of how to use sketch cassette, I'm not the expert on this stuff. I'm just here to show you my tricks in a practical way. So you can get really like seasick with it. Oh, about the character section. So you have two modes, clean and diffuse. I should have read the manual before making this video. I don't know which one does what, but I like clean. Diffuse, I feel like starts messing with things in a way I'm not the biggest fan of. Do your own research, try it out yourself. It's all about how it sounds. I'll show you both. Spread, by the way, if you're doing this on your mix box, just probably keep it at 0. You probably don't want to start spreading stuff, but besides the point. Delay. I should explain this. When you think of compression, the threshold of a compressor, when you hit it as it goes down, when you hit it, it starts compressing. That's basically doing this, but with clipping. So if you go ahead and you just... See, that starts spreading it stereo-wise. You probably shouldn't be touching that on your mix bus. No, yeah, don't do it. Now, just for fun, let's turn up the feedback and see what that does. Starts acting like a flanger, which is really cool. Maybe you want that, maybe you don't. Probably don't want it on your mix bus, but, you know, it's actually really... Yeah, that's a lot of fun, actually. Because when you think about it, that's just flanging it. So I don't want to explain that in this video. So now you have all that, and you're like,
well, I have this tape sound now. How do I get hiss?
And that's where you get the secret sauce. Basically, you go into your Logic samples, which I'm not going to open because right now my computer's running really hot because I'm recording it and stuff. You go into this, the loop browser, and you could find different electrical signals. And I changed the name of it. I think this is number 4. Of just electrical noise. If you just look up noise or like hiss, you'll be able to find what I'm talking about. And so basically what this is just tape hiss. I'll solo it. Blend it into how you like it. Also for this video, I'll go over the instruments I used. So just this should have been done at the beginning, but maybe I'll move this to the beginning. We'll see. I don't do it at the beginning. So in the song, I have a mellotron, like a flute, or it's more strings. I don't remember, but something I liked the way it sounded. This is just a song for the video, just to give an example of how to use this in a practical way. Even though it's just a 4-bar loop. The solid soul bass with a little bit of clip distortion. Chorus and tape delay are on apparently, but they're not doing anything. They're on 0. Drums, I just used Portland drums. I love that. That tape sound on drums is so good. Just background vocals. I tried using pitch correction. I used flex pitch. Oh,
Kill me.
you know, I used flex pitch on the vocals to get it to do the way I wanted to do. I have autotune. I wasn't gonna put autotune on the song. It's too much processing power, and then this is what I'm doing to the vocals, but that's not what this video is about. I don't know why there was a compressor on that. Sorry about that. So now what I'll do is I'm gonna go into Sketch Cassette and try to just like get a similar sound. Not exactly the same, but you'll get the idea. Now we're going to switch between these two. For all the samplers out there. Put your own drums under it. I don't know. Do whatever you want. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps you out in your musical endeavors, in your tape discovery and love for the sound of tape distortion and saturation and wow and flutter. It's a ton of fun. If you ever get the chance to mess with real tape, definitely do it. I have a 4-track that I should definitely use more, but it's a ton of fun. I don't know. I guess I have to do this now because I'm making a YouTube video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, yo. I'm probably going to do more of these. I think I'm going to try to post videos of just like different tricks and tips and logic that I have, specifically on this, which will definitely help this out. But just for now, in terms of plugins and tape emulation plugins, this is all you need to know. But this right here, if you don't know what this is, oh baby, you're gonna love that video. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I hope you enjoyed it. That's just one trick that I use all the time, and hopefully you could use it in your own songs too. And if you do, send it to me. I'd love to hear it. Yeah, that's it. Thanks.